Morning, everyone. It's Alison Sullivan with Stamp Crazy with Alison. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in New Westminster, British Columbia, on the west coast of Canada. So welcome to my Sunday Live. I'm just going to make sure that everything is working as it should be. I'm live on YouTube, so that's good. And make sure the sound's up. Yeah, excellent. Oh my gosh, everything looks good today. And I'm just going to refresh my other screen over here. Give me a second. And there we go. So I can see your comments, which is helpful. And some of you are hopping on already, I see. So just let me get this open. And there we go. Hi, Ellie. How are ya? Hi, Keisha. Hi, Jacqueline. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Okay, wow, you guys are fast today. So today I'm going to be using the Earthen Elements. Let me just do a split screen here for you. There we go. I'm going to use the Earthen Textures. It's the Earthen Elegance Suite of products that are in the annual catalog. Good morning, Jan. Nice to see you here. I think everyone's, wow, you guys are fast today. It's only 1 minute after 10. Wow. I got my tea just because my throat gets somehow scratchy. I'm going to make a little bit of a mess today. So sometimes it's fun to make a little mess, isn't it? Let me just fix my monitor. There we go. Okay, you guys are so fast. I think we can almost get started. I'll wait just, oh, no, I was going to say a minute more, but we're at 10:02. So why don't we just start playing? Let's do that. Okay, so we've got the Earthen Textures, which is a bundle. And it includes the dies and the stamps. Okay. It also includes, if you want to get all the products in this suite, it includes designer series paper. And I believe it's called Earthen Elegance paper. Because usually it follows the name of the, yeah, Earthen Elegance follows the name of the suite. So 12 by 12 package. You get 12 sheets. So you're going to get 2 of each 12 by 12. And of course, in Stampin' Up! Style, we've got one side. It's kind of neutrally. And then the other side has got some designs on it. I love this one. Looks like a fossil almost, doesn't it, with the trees? I like that, or the ferns. And then this one's interesting. It reminds me of a honey pot. Can you just see the honey dripping down? I like that. Yesterday, demonstrators were treated to a behind the scenes from she's not the concept artist because she doesn't make the cards, but she actually designs the designer series paper, which is amazing what she does. And she took us on a tour of how she did this. And she actually did it by using clay and pottery and adding colors and glazes, and it's amazing. And then this one, she talked about particularly about how you could use it in so many different ways. And if you look, I'm just going to show you here. If we look at the catalog, see this piece here and this piece here? That's her original pottery. That's the pottery that she used to create these papers. I just find it fascinating when you see an artist and how they do things, right? So cool. Anyway, so that's 3 of the products in the suite. And then we also have this. Excuse me. This is the trim. This is just a natural trim. I love it. It's sort of like linen thread, but it's coarser. Sort of like burlap, but not that coarse. And what I really like is how it's got these really cool designs, like it's like a chain, right? But I've also, on projects, I have unraveled this and used it just as a thicker linen thread, which I like too. Okay. All right. So that's what we're going to be playing with today. Let me grab I'm going to just grab this paper to protect my surface here. I am feeling better, Keisha. I do sound better, don't I? But I do have a little tickle. So I'm going to just take I've got some water here. I'm going to just take a sip. Yes, Jacqueline, wasn't she amazing? I just thought it was amazing. I was mesmerized by how she created this. So it's another advantage to being a demonstrator. So we get to see things behind the scenes. And there's a great sign-up special right now for anyone who wants to join my team, my Canada Inks Up team. I have almost 150 crafters in my team, my group. So during June, you can join, excuse me, for an amazing sign-up special. It is $135 and you get $206 worth of product and you don't pay any shipping. And in some provinces, you don't pay any tax. So that's even better. All right, so we're going to get messy today. Let me grab what I need. So fun creating yesterday, wasn't it, you guys? I'm going to just clean up. I see I made a little bit of mess of my stamp pads. So let me try and clean them up here before I show you what colors we're going to use today. I think you're going to like these colors. These are all either brand new colors in color or returning colors. So a lot of that face was so great. So here's the colors we're going to use. We've got Copper Clay, Wild Wheat, and Lost Lagoon. I was really happy to see Lost Lagoon come back. And I know a lot of people don't like Wild Wheat, but I love Wild Wheat. It's just me. Love it. All right. So what I've got is my largest block. I think this is, oh gosh, I'm never going to be able to see the number on this. F. So this is a block that you would use for a large background stamp. Here's another use. If you're stamping with a lot of, excuse me, stamps, and you only have a few little, you only have one of each block, for instance. So you don't have enough, and you don't want to lose your stamps. Just stick them on here as you're stamping, and then you won't lose them. They'll be here at the end of your stamping crafting day. Okay. So that's a couple of uses that I use for my big one, but today we're going to use it for even more fun. Okay. By the way, I'm just going to take a breath. By the way, have you seen, I'm sure you guys have seen this 100 times, but I'm going to show you in case you have not seen this. I don't always put my labels on the back of my stamps. I'm going to find, I need a block that's going to be big enough here. Let's grab one. Excuse me. Okay. So I don't always put labels on the back. But for words, I like to have labels on words, for instance. And I'm going to show you. So this one here, I do not have a label on, but I've already used it. So I pulled off the white backing. So let me show you what I mean by that. All the stamps come with a little backing on them, right? And then underneath is your sticky label, so to speak, that sticks to your block. If you would like, you can put on the actual label that comes. And I wanted to just show you a trick. Okay. So you're going to take the label. Normally what I used to do is take the label off, but leave it on here and then go like this. But we're not going to do that. We're going to just grab the entire label. Okay. We're going to stick it down to a block. And from there, we're going to take off the backing. So this is normally what you'd take off and leave it on that sheet, but we're not going to do that. So I'm going to take my stamp. I'm going to put it down like so. Now this is the sticky part. Okay, so we're going to turn it over and we're going to, oops, would help if I could see, line it up. What does that look? Looks pretty good. I'm going to line it up. And then we can just release it. And then we've got the backing on our stamp. So that's really, I found that's really good, a really good trick. I didn't think of it. Somebody taught it to me, but I wanted to tell you that before I forgot. So if you've never done that, try that. Okay. Back to our regular schedule. Here we are. Excuse me. Hot Pat? Hi, Judy. How are you? Who else is here? Lori. Hi, Lori. Oh, from rainy Ohio. Oh, no. We could use some rain in our province higher up than me, but try and get rid of some forest fires that are going on. All right. So we've got our acrylic block. You guys who just joined haven't missed anything. I just was talking about the Earthen Elegance Suite. So I'm going to take my first color, which is Lost Lagoon, and I'm going to just lay color on right on my block. It doesn't have to be perfect. You're just kind of covering. I'm just layering I'm just sort of setting the first layer. Okay. There we go. That looks good. I start with the lightest. Okay. Now there's a debate on which is the lightest of these two. I'd say they're pretty even, but I'm going to go with wild wheat. I'm going to take my wild wheat and I'm just going to add a little bit here and there, just like that. Just every one we do, it's going to be different. Every time you do this, it's going to be a different look. I'm going to take that copper clay and just might put a little bit too much on there. That might be too much. That's okay. Every one of these is going to be different. Now I'm going to take my spritzer and I put water in it. Have you guys seen our spritzers? They're fantastic. Now, normally I would take this and I would move it off my work surface and spray it, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do it here because I've got a protective layer and I want you guys to see it. So I'm just going to add some water because this is water soluble ink, right? Okay, so when I feel like I've got water on most of this or all of this, what I did, you guys, originally when I was doing these, I'm just going over to cut a piece of paper, was that I picked it up and turned it over onto my paper. And it works, but it's a lot messier. So I'm not going to do that. I've got a piece of our fabulous watercolor paper and I've just cut it in half. So it started off as 8.5 by 6. So I've just made it 4.25 by 6. And I'm going to just lay it on top like so. And then I'm going to grab a scrap piece of paper and I'm just going to rub. Now these will turn out differently every single time. And you just got to play with it. Yeah, Pat, isn't it a great way? Yeah. And like I said, Jen, it's so clever. I have no idea who thought of it, but kudos to them because I think it's been shown on so many people's videos and whatnot that I don't know who the original person was, but kudos to them. So what we're going to do now is just take this off. Okay. And this is what I've ended up with. Let me move this out of the way so we don't get it on anything. Okay. Now I've got some spaces here that I don't have anything. And you know, if it doesn't bother you, then that's fine. It doesn't really bother me, but I could just go back in and add a few things. There we go. And then what I'm going to do is I can just let this dry, but I don't want to do that. I want to actually move some of that water around. So I'm going to take my heat tool and I'm just going to dry it up. So I picked these colors because they were complementary to the designer series paper. And I just thought I'll stick with that. Excuse me. So you can see that, remember I was saying, ooh, maybe I put too much copper on there, but I like it. It looks good. And like I said, every time you do this, it turns out differently. And we've got that wild wheat has mixed with the Lost Lagoon and made that pretty green. Ooh, that's kind of pretty. So I'm just drying this up, you guys. I'm going to set it aside and keep working on the rest of our project, but I just wanted to get it dried up. You can also, when it's still wet, if you've got a lot of water in it, you could do this. You could let it run down and then dry it. So you get some streaks and fun elements. So like I said, it's going to be different every single time you do it. Let me show you some other ones that I did earlier. Give you an idea. Here's one. I use the same colors, but I embossed it with that hatch, which was cross hatch from the Basics 3D. Here's another one. So you can see that they're all different. Here's one I used a completely different color. I think I used, I know I used Lemon Lime Berry Burst. And then I don't know what color. It might have been a blue of some kind. Should write it on the back. It's kind of pretty. And then this one I don't love as much, but I think you could brighten it up with some elements. Okay, those are mostly blue. I think that was Boho Peacock. And then I think I did add a bit of copper to that one. Anyway, you can see that you're going to get all these different variations. Okay. All right. So you just kind of keep playing and not worry too much about it. I'm going to set this all aside, and I'm going to actually take this away because we don't need it anymore. And now we're back to our regular surface. So I'm just trying to wheel in closer to my table. Oh, here we go. All right, let's start making the card. What are we going to need? Okay. I'm going to need, excuse me, a very vanilla base. So I've got just 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. So just our standard, grab my bone folder. Just my standard. Hopefully I haven't got too much ink on my hands. Oh, I did pretty good. Yesterday I was covered in ink. So we got that. I've got just a scrap of copper clay. I grabbed this. Remember we were talking about the designer series paper earlier, and I said that the designer, I thought this looked like honey pot or honey dripping or just anything dripping off the top of your pot. I like that. And I just like these colors together. Don't they go nice? Yeah. And then I've got a little scrap of Lost Lagoon, which is one of the colors that we used. I've got a scrap of wheat, wild wheat. And then I've also got a scrap of the distressed gold. So these were the colors that we're going to use together. Where's our little Lost Lagoon? Here he is. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and grab some of the dies. So this one here, I wasn't sure the last time I made a card with it what it was. I kept calling it a palm leaf, but the designer yesterday called it a palm leaf. So now I know it is actually a palm leaf. So that's going to get cut out of that. And then my little pot is going to get cut out of here. And I just want to grab as much of that pretty kind of rough glaze as I can. So I'm going to just stick that down. So that's that one. And out of the Lost Lagoon, there's a die that cuts out the top of the pot. Yay. And then my wild wheat, I'm going for this one, which is another palm. So just a die. So that's what we've got so far. Excuse me. And then out of my copper, I'm going to grab one of my favorite die sets, which is the deckled rectangle dies. And I'm going to use the third one from the inside, which is this one. And I'm just going to cut that out. Okay. All right. So I've got my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine here. And since I can cut all these out, most of these, I think I can cut most of these out at the same time. Rather than using my little guy, we might as well see how many you can cut it. Okay. I only really need the top of that palm, so I'm not too worried about it. Let's trim this down a bit. Hope I haven't trimmed it down too much. Nope. And then this guy can go in there. Might be all we can do, which is enough. I don't think I can get this guy in. Sometimes, you push yourself to get more on here than you should. And then you're sad because something goes awry. All right. What I'm going to do is, it looks good, but I'm going to anchor some of these down because my poor little plate is warped a bit. So we don't want it to move. So let's stick that one down. I've already stuck that one down, so that's okay. Stick this one down. Okay, well, we don't want anyone to feel left out, so we'll just stick this guy down. Okay. And then, so I've got my plate number 1, I've got my plate number 2, I've got a clear plate, and then I've got my dies and my paper, and then I've got my top plate, my second number 3. I'm just going over to my die cut and I'll cut all of those out at the same time. Okay. What's everybody up to these days? What you guys going to do today? I've got a meeting with my team later, which I'm looking forward to. I'm going to collect up all my bits. One of my team members yesterday was saying how she put a pantyhose. Do we even wear those anymore? But she went to the dollar store and bought some pantyhose. She put it on the end of her vacuum hose and went around and found 2 of her stamps, her acrylic stamps that she couldn't see. And of course it didn't get sucked up. So I said to her, I need a Geiger counter. So what you call it when you're looking for metal? I need that in my studio to find my dies. I do try really hard, you guys, to do this, to take a magnetic plate and put them on as I use them, but I'm not always good at it because, you know, when you get creative, you just kind of start throwing stuff around and at the end you're like, uh-oh, where did that go? I bet nobody else does that. It's just me, right? And while we're at this, while we're die cutting, why don't we take that mosaic that we did here and grab the larger decal. Now this one would be, I believe, is it the largest one? It is the largest one. Really? I didn't think it was, but I guess it is. So decide where you want this, like what you want to frame here. Let's run that through. This is the only die that I wouldn't fit in my mini. So if you do have this die set, and you want to cut out the larger die, you will need the regular size Stampin' Cut and Emboss. But you can use the other dies if you don't have it. Okay, so that's what we've ended up with. What do we think? Yeah, you're coming to my meeting. It's your anniversary. 46 years. Oh, congratulations, Judy. You have a bunch of thank you cards to make. Yeah, it's a good day to stamp, right? So should we put this together? Here's our base card. Remember, very vanilla. And then that's going to go on top. I'm going to take a sip. Sorry, guys. I think I'm going to have this cough for a while. It's like a tickle. It's just like a little tickle. And I'm going to clear that little nozzle. There we go. Oh gosh, I hope I didn't put too much glue on there and it squirts out the sides. Okay. It's okay if there's white here. Because it looks like vanilla, right? So it just ties into the base of the card, which is fine. I love that. What do you think? Kind of looks like if you're from space looking down at Earth and the ocean and little island. Okay, so this is our piece that I'm going to actually stamp a sentiment on. Remember, I've got my gold. So this is what I was thinking. I have this because I'm changing it up from my original because I made my original and then I asked my friend, what did she think of my original? She says, I like it, but there's something wrong with it. There's something not balanced. And she was right. So I think I figured out a way to make this a little more balanced. So can you see there's these little score lines on here? And if you want, you can actually fold it on these score lines. So it just has a little more oomph. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to have this on top, sort of, so peeking out. That's my idea. So let's grab some dimensionals. And what I found works for this is I put a dimensional just right here at the base. Okay. And then I'm going to do this and this. And I think that should be good. It comes off my finger. Oh, these are sticky ones. Sometimes you get sticky dimensionals. Did I tell you guys I'm super excited about something? Let me share with you. So in July, I've been invited to join a tutorial group I'm really excited about. It's from people all over the world. Kylie Bertucci is the, what is she? The administrator, I guess. She's the one who takes care of us all. And I've got lots of friends from the UK, Australia, and the United States are also on it. And we create 12 cards, so one each. Excuse me. And we put them in a tutorial. And when you make a purchase, well, this is what I'm going to do in Canada. When you make a purchase, you'll get that tutorial for free as a thank you. And next month is going to be this suite, Earthen Elegance Suite. And I've seen some of the projects. They're fantastic. So you're going to love them. And we also have a blog hop at the beginning of the month. I think it's on July the 6th. I have to go double check. But yeah, so I'm excited about that. So watch for that. I'll give you more information as it comes available. Oh, you can also buy that tutorial if you prefer. It's going to be fun, Joy. I'm really excited about it. This would be really pretty to die cut leaves also. It would be, Keisha. It would, absolutely. So you can play around with the different elements, right, of the die set. There's so many to pick from. Let me grab it. You've got, you can stamp and cut out. This one's interesting. Kind of nice to put across a pot. It's kind of interesting. Then you've got the taller pot. Yeah, so there's lots of ones you can pick from. Okay, let's stamp a sentiment. I'm going to take my embossing buddy. I'm just going to get rid of all that oil that's been from my fingers that's gotten on top of there. Let me grab a piece of paper here. I'm going to stamp the saying, "Your proof there is good in the world." Don't you love the way they've done this font? They've got these little dots under the E, and I love that. But there's so many nice sayings in here. Thank you. You always know just what to say and do. Your thoughtfulness is much appreciated. With gratitude. Yeah, so pretty. I gotta admit, when I first saw this, I'm just gonna make sure that this is on straight, you guys. Yep. Fairly straight. Straight according to my one eye that works. Okay, so got that. I'm going to use Versamark. My poor Versamark. Look at this. Oh, that's a sign of a lazy stamper. You see, I didn't clean it off properly, but it doesn't hurt. Okay, so I'm going to stamp it onto the right side, hoping that I am straight here. If I am, I am. If I'm not, I'm not. Okay, then I'm going to take white embossing powder. I'm going to dump that on there because, as you know, I've had this conversation with you guys. I'm a dumper. That looks good. Okay. And I'm going to grab these fantastic tweezers. This is our, oh gosh, embossing accessories kit. Accessories emboss. Oh, somebody will know the right name. Love it. Comes with a little tray. Got my embossing buddy. You have to have a embossing buddy. It's got this really nice soft brush. If you happen to have stray embossing powder, this is my favorite. It's got these tweezers. These tweezers are the best. So this way I do not burn my hand. Okay. Somebody will know the right name. This is funny. I've moved my computer, my second monitor, over to my my workstation, so to speak. I cleaned up my workstation. I'm kind of proud of myself. It's so tidy now. I moved a lot of stuff into like a rolly tray beside me, which has been really, just makes my creating so much easier. Of course, gives me more space to mess up, right? Just gives me more stuff, more room on my desk. But I have noticed I can't really see the comments because they're a bit blurry. All right, so there we go. What are we thinking so far? Remember what we've done. So I'm going to pop this up. Excuse me. Okay. Yeah, Joy, I agree. It's going to be fun, and it's going to be, they're so creative, these women that I'm going to be creating with. Oh my gosh. You'll recognize the names once the tutorial, once I post the tutorial, but really talented men and women from around the Stampin' Up! World. Okay, so remember this? We've got this little fern. So I'm going to do that. What do you think? I think that looks good. Okay, so what I'm going to do is turn this over. Let's trim off his little tail here. He doesn't need to have a tail that big. I'm going to anchor him with dimensionals because I need to pop this up anyway, and that'll hold that little fern in place, and I won't have to worry about glue going everywhere. Okay. I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to glue my little Lost Lagoon little top to my pot. This just brings in all the colors from the colors that we used on the water technique, the acrylic block water technique. Remember? Okay. So that's what I've got so far. Let's add some of this pretty trim. I found that 3 circles is the exact amount that you need to go across the top of this little pot. So I'm going to grab, these are the paper pumpkin glue dots. Please, if you get paper pumpkin, oh my gosh, you have to use these. I know you think, oh, I don't want these glue dots. I don't know what I'd do without these glue dots. I wish Stampin' Up! Would sell them as in just as an alternative to our other glue dots. Our other glue dots are good for certain projects, but these are flat. And so they don't have, they're not popping up or giving dimension. They're just acting as a nice glue. And they're so clean and neat. You don't have to worry about white glue going everywhere. At least that's what I think. Plus I can maneuver this to stick to my, that's what I've got so far. Can you see that? Hopefully. Let's finish this off with some bling, because everyone needs bling. At least I do. Reach across and grab this. What is this called? Neutrals Adhesive Back Sequins. Again, we've got all these colors. We've got that gold that pops that distressed gold. We've got this copper. We've got a bronze. So pretty. Okay. Let's grab, I want to grab the gold because I do want gold for sure, because I want it to tie into that. And then I'm going to grab maybe a smaller bronzy one, and then let's go with a bright copper one. Guess down here. Guess that's what I'll do. Excuse me. Okay. So that's the card. What do we think? I had fun playing with it. Aw, thanks, Jacqueline. I was worried. I was playing yesterday and I was like, ooh. Let me show you the original card. Okay, because this is my friend Leanne helped me. All she said was not in balance, do something different. Okay, so this was my first card. Okay, but I like the new one better because here's why. We've added this piece, which I didn't have here, right? And maybe if I add that to this, it'd be good. I liked this underneath the sentiment. And like I said, I just like the added extra dimension. And there's, this is popped up, so there's space between them to give it some dimension. So it's my first one. It's okay. But this one's way better. What do you think? Oh, thanks, Leanne. There's Leanne. So Leanne, I see I mentioned your name. Leanne said, no, there's something, no, I don't know, move that over or do something. This was all by just messenger. And she was right. She was so right. So Looks way better, right, Leanne? You were so right. Okay, so let me show you another color combo. This one I just did this morning. This one here. What do you think? So this one's using Bubble Bath, Freesia, and Highland Heather. Those are the colors to do the acrylic background. But we need to finish this guy off because he needs bling. In my mind, he needs some bling. So I think what I'm going to use is we've got so much bling. I thought about this, but I don't think that's the right color combo. And I could use this one, but I don't think it's going to stand out enough. What else have I got? No, don't like those. Those are so much to choose from, you guys. I thought these were too dull. So I just kept looking. And I thought, you know what? Let's just use, oh my gosh, look at this. Look at how many rhinestones I have. I think I better start using my rhinestones. What do you think? I think I got a rhinestone problem here. I could use pearls. They would be prettier, and I could color the pearls. Oh, here's what I wanted. I wanted bigger ones here. That's better. I want those little guys. Okay. Yeah, I think that's good. Kind of embarrassed by how many blings I have there. Okay, sorry. So there we go. So I just added some dimensionals. I don't think this would look very good on here, but maybe it would. What do you guys think? Is it too weird with bringing in that color? It's a neutral. But maybe what I could have done was, yay, purple. Actually, Janet, you're going to laugh. But I was thinking this morning, I'm going to make a new color. And I was trying blues and blue. I thought, no, I'm going to go with purple. I've got purple on. And I thought Janet will like this card. So the colors, again, this one's Gorgeous Grape. This one here is the Bubble Bath. Gorgeous Grape. I stamped it in Gorgeous Grape. This is Highland Heather. But you could bring in Freesia. That would be pretty too, right? So I don't know. I don't know about this. I don't know about adding this. I don't want to ruin it, but it looks like it's missing. Maybe I would have used white before I glued this down. I don't think I got any glue and white in here. You know what I mean? Like a white baker's twine, maybe. But it looks like it's missing something. I don't know. What are you guys thinking? Somebody help me. Nobody's answering me. Somebody tell me, should I? Let me put it down so you can see. So here we go. Yes. No. Yes. I'm just not loving the color. Yes. No. Add. So I've got 2 ads, 2 ads, 3 ads, 2 different. Not sure what that means. Yes. Okay. Everybody says yes. Add. All right. We're going to add. We're going to add. So back again with our little trick with our fun paper pumpkin glue dots because I love them. And we'll just stick this guy down. So you can reposition it. You can push it back together. That's what I love about my glue dots. Okay. All right. There we go. We've added that. It is nice with the texture, right? Okay. So here's our 2. Here's my one that Leanne helped me fix. And here's the purple. Now, I know a lot of us are going to say we like purple because women love purple. I really do. Oh, let me remind you, I made this card last week. Remember this one? So this time where I used more of the traditional colors, the DSP. There's those little, I don't know, they look like Roman numeral X's. I did that in the Distress Gold to bring that in. Okay, and then that's that same crosshatch. Remember when I showed you this one where you can actually emboss this before you do anything? And that's nice too. It adds that texture, right? Anyway, so watch for my tutorial next month. Kylie calls it the All-Star tutorial. I don't consider myself an all-star, but I'm grateful to have been invited to join. So we'll have 12 projects using this fantastic bundle. I wonder if you can do the ribbon with white ink. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Leanne, you got, I like the rope ribbon. Okay. I like the card from last week too. Thanks, Judy. You're right. It's nice. It's simple, right? Okay. So any other questions? Dip it in white crafting. Oh, well done. See, Elaine. Hi, Elaine. How are you? Elaine had just had a brilliant idea. She says, take some white ink and dye the ribbon. I'm going to have to do that because I think it would be fantastic in white because it would really pop, wouldn't it? That white. I'm going to try that, Leanne. I'm Elaine. I think I can pull that off. And then I think doing the ribbon with white ink. Yeah. Yeah, you guys have been around a long time. You got good ideas. You have a great day, Judy. Bye. All right, you guys. What else is new? Oh, DSP sale. Don't forget, there's a DSP sale, 15% off a designer series paper. You want to grab that. See you at 1, Jacqueline. Bye for now. All right, you guys. When will I see you next for a live? I'll see you next on Wednesday. Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific time. So until then, I hope you get some stamping in. I'll see my team at 1 o'clock. And have a great rest of the day and great rest of the weekend. Okay, guys. Bye for now.